So I finally think I found a standalone pull-up bar that is worth the money for doing pull-ups in your home gym. This way I can get off my door frame in order to protect my door as well as myself from falling off it and getting injured. And the product I have is the OneTwoFit pull-up tower. And this thing has been pretty cool starting out, and I really love the design. Now I do think there are improvements that can be made, but as a product that I've not really seen on the market, and for this price, I think it is something I would actually buy again if I had to get off my door and do standalone pull-ups. Not only that, but this standalone pull-up bar can do other exercises as well, which I'll get into, but do know I'm pretty excited to try this thing out and see how it goes against some of the other products I have coming. So with that, what is the OneTwoFit standalone pull-up bar? As the name implies, it is a standalone pull-up bar, meaning you don't need a door, wall, or anything else in order to do this. You just need a floor or the ground and this device in order to do pull-ups. And that's not all this product can do. It can also do dips, inverted rows. I'll get to that a bit later because it's not perfect, but you can do inverted rows as well as push-ups with this. If you want, you could do something like L-sits or other weird ab exercises if you decide to hold your body weight off the ground. But the main ones I would say are pull-ups and variations of pull-ups, dips, and push-ups. Everything else is like it can be done, but not really something I would focus on with this. Now, I bought this product off Amazon.com on December 15th of 2024. So as of shooting this, I've been using it for a few weeks with some great success. Now, again, I do think there are improvements, but overall, I have had a pretty positive experience with this so far. Now, the price on Amazon at the time was $189.99. So not super cheap, but much cheaper than many of the other options out there right now. So looking at things like the Fit Home Gym, which also has something similar, that's like $500. You have the Bull Bar 2.0, which is over $400. So this is a pretty steep price difference for something I think has a better overall design in terms of keeping it compact, which is really cool and something I've really liked so far in using. Now for unboxing and setup, the whole thing took me about 15 minutes to build from start to finish. So not really too bad. You just had to add some of the feet on the bottom, as well as some screws here and there, but overall it was pretty simple. The harder part was really learning how to set up and do this as simply and easily as possible. I'll actually put a thing in this video where I was able to set up from start to finish in 3 minutes, pretty much 3 minutes flat. So not too bad. If you just want to take a few minutes, get it all set up before you even do your workout so it's ready to go when you want to use it, that's what I'd probably recommend. So you're not trying to do it on the fly, but do know 3 minutes is not too long in terms of setup. I would still like to see ways to make this even faster, but it is, again, a good starting point. But this device comes almost completed out of the box, which is really nice. You just had to put on some pieces on the bottom, but other than that, you're pretty much good to go. Now, the main draw for me on getting this was the design that they came up with in order to collapse it when you're not using it and storing it in your closet. So for me, I do have a closet I put all my equipment in. I will show a picture of it on screen here. But if it's easily alongside my core fitness dumbbells with the stand, that area that you're looking at in the picture is only 4 feet by 2 feet or 2 by 4. So it's very, very small. So to fit all of that in there pretty easily is pretty cool. I will have the one caveat that with how it's set up, it doesn't actually stand on its own. I do have to prop it against the wall in order for it not to fall over, but it still fits easily in my closet. Now the product is weighted for 360 pounds, so I do have a lot of room to work with, even if I put a backpack on. Currently, I weigh about 200 as of shooting this video, so again, I could put 160 pounds on a backpack, which would max it out. I probably wouldn't go that close, but get close to maxing it out, and that's a lot of extra weight. I can't actually even put that much in a backpack to do. I don't have other plates to get that far, so I pretty much can't max it out, and that's a good thing. But with all of that, I'm gonna go over what I like and don't like about the OneTwoFit Power Tower Station. Now for this version, do know this is version 1, there is a version 2, but for this version, the main thing I like about it is its ability to fold down very, very small. For me, I just personally leave the crossbar in most of the time, just on one of them. So what I do is I unscrew from one side and just kind of leave it together. And you can still put it down, just know the weighting of it is a bit off. So again, it can fall forward if you are raising those front feet up. But if you don't mind like placing against a wall or something, then it's not that big an issue. So that is the big draw to this one. There are other things like the bull bar that collapses down, but I actually think the kind of lowering of the bars and then collapsing in is a much better and compact design, which I think should be looked into by more companies or this company to continue proving on in the future. Now I put the next one as a pro, but it's kind of not a pro at the same time, but the setup is easy, but it takes a little while to learn how to do it the best way you can. So again, for me, when I first was learning how to actually set this up, it took a while for me to actually get it properly set up the first time. It was a little clunky, but after again doing it maybe 3 to 4 times, now I can do it in that 3-minute time frame, sometimes even faster. So again, you may need a few times through to actually get used to it, but intuitively it's not the best right off the bat, but becomes easy as you do it. And that's kind of the same with everything, but if it wasn't 3 minutes, like if it took me like 5+ minutes every time, I might be a little more annoyed, but at 3 minutes, it's not too bad. Now when it comes to height, this thing's just perfect for me because it pretty much reaches my ceiling. I have 8-foot ceilings, and this bar at the 7 goes almost all the way up. I think it goes one more to reach the max, so 8 total notches that you can go, which would be basically touching the ceiling with my hand. So I'm not going to do that, so I go to 7. That way I have a little bit more wiggle room when doing the pull-ups. I only have to bend my knees a little bit in order to use this. I'm so used to bending my knees a lot when doing it for my door frame that having almost straight legs is pretty nice when doing pull-ups. So that is a big plus in my opinion. Another pro is that it can easily hold my weight at 200 pounds, even if I add on a backpack with weight. So again, I would have to add on 160 pounds worth of weight to even get to the max of this, which I'm not even close to, so I'm not afraid of that becoming an issue. If you are, props to you, that is pretty crazy, but for me, it'll easily hold my weight with my setup that I currently have. Another pro is that you can do multiple exercises with this. So with that $190 price tag, you can't only do pull-ups, you can do pretty much all the variations of pull-ups that you want. So you have your standard pull-ups, you have hammer pull-ups and chin-ups that you can do. Then you can also do dips, and you can do mainly push-ups. However, with the inverted rows, they actually say that you can do inverted rows, but if you look at how he's doing them, he's not actually doing them properly in the advertising for this product. And when I try doing them, there is a pull cord that makes it easier to collapse it, but I actually think I might just remove this because it just gets in the way. That way I could do inverted rows. With that pull cord, it is in your way and it'll rub against your neck and back and stuff, and it's just not comfortable. It just gets in your way. So I would say while you can do inverted rows, it's pretty annoying to actually perform the exercise with that there. So it actually might be something I remove entirely, we'll see, but just know that could be a hindrance to doing inverted rows if you're looking to get this to do that exercise with in your home gym. And of course, my last pro is that this fits in my closet. One of my huge pet peeves when it comes to these things is how much room it takes up and does it fit around my other equipment. That way I can get it out of the way when I'm not using it. I don't want to like strew it all over my room if I don't have to. So again, a huge plus. It still looks good in the side as well. So overall, it kind of looks like it goes in that closet with everything else. It's nice, neat, and tidy. And I really actually love the design and how well it fits with the rest of my equipment in that 2-foot by 4-foot square. All right, so with that, let's go over to things I don't like about the OneTwoFit pull-up tower. The first one you'll notice when I'm doing the exercise is that it is a bit shaky. Now, you can remove some of this by improving the little twist feet things on the bottom. That way you can get the proper height from a wood floor. If you're on a rug surface, this could be even worse. But especially when doing things like dips, this is where I can find where it's the most shaky. I think over time, as I'm still getting back into doing dips, I'll be able to control it a bit more, but it's still gonna have some shakiness to it at all times. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall over or anything, but the bars do shake quite a bit when you're doing it with most exercises. With pull-ups, it's not as bad. It's really with like the dips and inverted rows that I feel it the most. My next con is that the handle diameter is too small for my hands. So again, while I can grab onto it and do the exercise, it's small enough to where it feels like it's digging into my palms. Again, especially with things like the dips, it really just digs hard into your palms when using it. I wish they were thicker to hold, and that maybe they could give you different padding to put on and hold on to versus what they give you. That could just help. Maybe it's just like a different thing they add into the bundle. But for me, I just feel like these are too thin for me, but maybe for you, this isn't an issue. With the padding, it actually does come off and comes off pretty easily. So the first day I used this, actually the top padding where the pull-up bar and the crossbar came right off. You can put it back on, of course, but also it kind of twists around the bar. So I think they could improve on the padding. Again, a smaller issue, but something that is a little bit annoying with a product like this. Now, one of the cons that's in this version and not in the other version that they offer is that the back feet do not come up. So once you set this up, the back feet are always down as you're putting a screw into them. That's not supposed to come out with each use of the product. However, with the V2 version, they actually do raise up on both sides. So the front and back both raise up so that you can store it in an even smaller area. So I really wish they had this in V1. I didn't buy V2 because I don't like that it's not specific or not geared towards doing dips directly. They actually have the another exercise where you're doing abs, where you have your forearms on the padding instead. And they do allow for a little bit room on the dips, but it's not enough to where I'd feel like it's meant for it. So that's why I didn't go with that product. It also costs more money at, I think, $220. So I saved a bit of money, went for the one that actually focused on having dips as the main exercise there. But do know that those back feet don't come up after use, so you will need to make sure it fits in your closet. It does fit in mine, which is nice, but again, it takes up a little bit more room. Now, another con for me is that when the front feet are up and I'm going to store this, without bracing against a wall, this will fall over. So the weighting of this is a little bit off, especially if you keep the dip bar handles in there. If you remove the dip bar handles and the crossbar, this actually wouldn't fall over on you, I don't think, when I was testing. But if you leave that crossbar on and you just like fold it down, and then you leave the dip bar handles in there, there's enough weight in the front of it with the front feet up for it to fall forward. So kind of annoying. I hope they're able to correct this by maybe making the back feet a bit heavier just to counteract it, or allow you to then just raise the back feet. You would need to prop it against a wall regardless at that point, but at least you'd take up less room. Now when it comes to the crossbar, yes, the diameter of the handles is too small, but my other issue is that based on where some of the handles are for the hammer pull-ups, they get in the way of being able to do proper chin-ups, in my opinion. I'm forced to separate my hands quite a bit more than I like when doing the chin-ups. I actually like them pretty close to like shoulder width apart when I do them, maybe even slightly inside of it when I do my chin-ups. But now I'm forced to go basically outside of my shoulders to perform the exercise. It just feels uncomfortable for me, so I don't like it. So I probably really won't use the exercise anymore. I'll just do regular pull-ups or hammer pull-ups. So that's something I have to watch out for as well. Now with that, when you're doing chin-ups or hammer pull-ups, one thing you have to watch out for is the back bar, because you will actually hit it with your body. So when I'm doing normal pull-ups, I'm out far enough away from that back support bar, the horizontal one that goes across, that I'm not hitting it with my legs or body. But as soon as you use the hammer pull-ups, you actually go about an inch or two closer to it, where I have actually grazed against it, and that is kind of annoying. So something, again, to watch out for when doing that. Again, excellent for regular pull-ups as I don't touch it, but as soon as you go to hammer or chin-ups, you actually do graze against it. You can still do the pull-ups or chin-ups, but you will graze against it when doing those exercises. And my last con is that inverted rows, while advertised, they don't actually advertise them doing them correctly. And when you do them correctly, that back pull cable to help collapse the device actually gets in the way. So it might be something I, again, look to remove, but just know that the cable thing can get in the way when doing it. It's great to have when you're trying to collapse it, but it's not required to collapse the device itself. So again, might be something I remove. So my final thoughts. Yes, there are a lot of cons, but I do think the pros actually outweigh the cons in this one when it comes to the initial design of the product, being able to get off a door frame and do pull-ups pretty easily at my weight with a lot of extra room to go. And the ability really to just, again, do the pull-ups wherever I want without the fear of getting injured or breaking something. So that alone, I think, is worth the $190 price tag alongside doing other exercises like dips and push-ups off of it. So this is a great device to get off, or to not buy more expensive items. I'm really trying to keep the cost down because things are just getting really, really, really expensive. And yes, there are products that I think are great out there, but I'm not going to buy them at the price tag that they are at. Now, I'd love to see a third version of this, just like this, that had the back feet being able to be put up when not in use, and also to use some materials that are just feel a bit more sturdy when it is set up. Again, there's a bit of shakiness, a little bit of rattling going around in there. So I'd love it if they could figure out a way to use materials in this that just make the thing feel a bit more solid. It's almost like buying one of those benches that, while it works, feels like it could kind of fall apart on you here and there. And while I still feel like I can do this just fine on this pull-up bar, it could use some work in terms of the overall build quality to make it just feel like a more premium product. But again, I've actually loved using this product. So I do recommend it for anyone who's trying to get off their door frames, or maybe doesn't even have a door frame to use. That way you can do pull-ups at home and be able to put this in a small form factor when not in use. Again, there is a version 2. I am avoiding that one as it's more expensive, and the setup for the dips isn't something I'm looking for, but maybe it is for you, so you could go with that one. That way you could fold it into an even smaller size when you're not using it. Now, as of today, I did actually get in the Power Bench by Power Blocks, so I will be comparing that against something like this. Now, that has a bench to it, so it's kind of cheating, and it's way more expensive, but it comes with other things. So I will be making some comparisons probably in the future, but do know that's coming. But again, if you're just looking for a cheaper option, or probably the cheapest option I found that is good for pull-ups, dips, and push-ups, this is, I think, the best option right now as I shoot in this video for you to look into.